Today we're going to learn how to install the CB2 on the Manta E3 EZ version 1.0. Now there's a couple of things that I need to show you real quick. There's 3 different versions of this board. Obviously the first 2 are CB1s, and this one does not have eMMC for memory on board. It's kind of like a hard drive. This one does. Now this one also has the eMMC on board, and the way that I used to install this was by applying jumpers to the jumper position 3 and 4 when it was inserted in here via USB. But I'm going to show you an easier way to do it that's quicker with an SD card. So before I start that though, I'm just going to show you the breakout of the capabilities of each one of these that I have outlined. So what you can see here is the CB1, and you can see what the actual speed of the processor is here. And you can see that the CB2 is significantly faster. We also have, greater eMMC memory compared to the one without. And of course, the onboard memory is greater as well for the RAM. And then of course we have PCI, and then of course the Ethernet's still the same, but we're not going to be using that. We're going to be using Wi-Fi. So the Wi-Fi module is located right over here. So I'm going to show you how to install this real quick on the actual board. So I'm going to pick out this one right here. Now obviously when you're running with this, what you're going to have to do is have cooling fins on top and possibly a cooling fan just to keep it nice and cool. But you can see the connection ports right here. So to install this, you're just going to align it over these holes right here and then push down. So let me see if I can get this aligned nice. And it should click into place. Note where the actual Wi-Fi is located. So you're going to take this little cup and you're going to connect it right over this little piece right here, and this will give you your Wi-Fi antenna. So it's kind of hard to get in, so you kind of have to rotate it in as soon as you get it lined up over the hole here. Sorry this has taken so long. It's been a while since I've done one of these and it keeps twisting on me. There we go. So that's now in place. So we're going to actually have to run it with connected power. In this case I'm using the actual PSU, which is 24 volts. So you can see the connections that I have right here, and I'm using ferro connectors. But we're going to have to set up the image first. So let me show you that real quick. Essentially what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go over to the main web page for the download. And what I've done is I put the actual download in the actual description of the video down below. So let me bring it up for you real quick and then I'll pop over to it. So right here, they show you the actual login username and password. You may want to change this later on, but you can select the image right here. To get to it, what you can do is this. You go over to here. This is the main GitHub page, and then you'll go to repositories and you'll type in the find repository CB2. This will bring you right over to it, as well as the manual. Now the manual's somewhat difficult to follow, at least for me. That's why I simplified the actual tutorial. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Raspberry Imager in just a second, but I've got to put the actual card in the drive here to show you the steps. So I'm going to take this card and I'm going to insert it here and then plug this into the computer. So you may hear a beep in a moment. Now we'll go over to the actual Raspberry Pi Imager. So let me bring this up. And this is the latest and greatest. It's 1.8.5 for the version. So we're going to say choose device. We have no device that normally would go with it, so we're going to go with no filter. We'll go to choose OS. We'll do custom for use custom. And then in my downloads folder, I already pulled it down, so I'm going to click on that and click open. And then you're going to say choose storage. The generic one for in this case, I'm using 8 gigabits. We'll say next. We'll say no for the customization, and then we'll say yes to do it. Now this may take a few moments, so I may pause the video for a second just so that this will be more brief, and then unpause it when I get to that step. Okay, as you see, it's finished actually writing, and now it's almost done verifying. So once this completes, you'll have to remove the SD card for a second. And then what you'll need to do is reinsert it. So let me show you that step real quick. So I'm going to go over to the desktop, pull it out, place it back in the drive. Then I'll go back over to my computer's desktop. It's going to throw a warning that says that the format is not correct for your drive. It's actually partitioned now. So we'll say cancel. We'll go over to our drive. So let me bring this over so you can see it here. So over here, we're going to find the drive, which in this case says boot, and it says G. Your lettering may be different. Now we have to modify 2 files because there's something interesting going on. When I originally tried to figure this out, I kept seeing that it was trying to hook up the actual Bluetooth, which doesn't exist on this particular board, but it exists on the Pi version of the CB2. So first thing you'll do is you'll go into configuration. So I usually edit this in Notepad++. So what we'll do right here is what you want to do is you want to do your router name. So it'll be your router right here for your name, whatever you call your router, and then your router password. So currently I already have a configuration of this file, so I'm not going to show you very much in here. So I'm just going to close out of here, and then the environment variable I'm going to have to close and reopen real quick because it's slightly different, but it's going to be inside here. So you can see that it's the version of Linux that they're using for the environment, and it's a text file. But here's where it gets interesting. Up in here, there's 2 different versions. So you can see there's a Pi version and there's a CB2 version. So you're going to right click on this, click rename, copy this entire piece right here. Then we'll go back over to here, right click on this file, and we'll edit it in Notepad. And what we want to do is I want to turn this boot logo off. So I'm going to say false because this way you can see what's occurring. And then the naming you can see right here is incorrect. So I'm going to paste with Control V the actual CB2. So that'll take care of that. So we'll hit Control S to save, and we'll close out of here. So that's all you have to do. Then you can pop out the drive. So let's go over to the actual desktop for a second. I'm going to pop this out, and I'm going to take it and insert it. But seeing how I've already imaged it and configured it for brevity, I'll pop this in right here. This might be a little bit difficult for me to do because I have it on the table with something, but it'll slide right in like so. And that's the one for loading your actual Raspberry Pi image. It's underneath like this. Over here, there's a second one. The first one is actually used for your firmware. So it's the one underneath. That's why I'm being somewhat specific. So I'm going to plug this in so we can actually see it boot. And I'm going to plug in the power in a second, but I'm going to change over to the screen so that you can see it booting. So I'll plug it in, and then I'll change to the Raspberry Pi. So you're not going to see it right away, but in a second you should see something starting to boot. There we go. Now if I had left on the actual boot screen for the actual boot image, you wouldn't see any of this. That's why I changed it to false. So this will take a few seconds to actually load, and I'll show you what this looks like. Essentially, what we're going to do, this will come up in our environment and show you what you would see in your browser. So this is what it looks like if it's okay for booting. So we know that we've got this right, except the configuration needs to change. So I've shown this in previous videos, so I'm probably going to leave that out. You can watch the last portion of my other videos just so you can see how to do that. But let me show you what it's going to look like in your actual router. So if I go over to the desk for a second on the computer or desktop, you can see that your router name would be right here. You'd go to your addresses. I filtered out some of this so you can't see certain things on the MAC addresses, but you'll see Big Tree Tech CB2. In this case, it's 192.168.1.7. So in order to get to that in your browser, what you're going to do is you're going to go over to your web browser, and you can essentially bring it up by going 192.168.1.7. And this will bring up your actual image. So you can see there's an issue. This has to do with a configuration that I've done in previous tutorials near the end that explains how to set this up. So if you look at my playlist, which is in the actual description of this video, you'll see how to do this part. But what I want to show you how to do is get the eMMC on this in just a second. But first things first, I'm going to show you how to do updates as per usual, pardon me. And essentially you'll click check for updates. And what it'll do is it'll reach out to the actual server locations that it knows about to do the updates. Now usually what I do is I do the system first, but in this case I've tested this and it works at the moment. So I'm going to do all of them at once. So I'm not going to actually show you the updates. I'm just going to show you where to press the button, and you can do that on your own time. That way this video will be shorter for you, but it's right here where it says update all components. But what we want to do is we actually want to set this up in a second to actually show you how to get to the right environment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the actual steps in the actual manual. So if I bring up the manual here for the Pi, there's a step down here that shows you how to do it. Now let me bring it up so you can see it here. So it's going through most of what it is for the Raspberry Pi, but down here it talks about how to flash your filing system and all that stuff. But the thing that we're looking for is actually, we're not going to do the normal eMMC, what we do with the jumpers, but there's a command way down here that'll actually copy it from the actual SD card. So it's right here. It says sudo nand sat install, or SATA install, excuse me. So I'll copy that, but we got to log into this. So I'm going to have to go over here, and I'm going to do a new connection, and you can see that I already have the IP address set. So I'm going to click OK. There'll be a screen that asks you if you want to go forward, so we'll say continue. Then we'll do BIQU tab BIQU for the passphrase or password in this case. So we'll click OK, and then you'll see the environment come up. So if you right click, this command will show up in Teraterm. So we'll take the period off, we'll hit enter. Now it's going to ask for the password again, so we'll say BIQU, then we'll press enter, and then we're going to have to go to number 2, so we'll down arrow, then we'll say OK with the enter button. Now it's going to say this script will erase your eMMC. Do you want to continue? Yes. Then it's going to be ext4, that's the filing system type. So we're going to hit enter, and it will now format the drive and install the actual configuration onto your eMMC. This might take a few moments, probably a minute or two, but it's pretty simple to do. And once it's complete, we'll have to reboot and reconfigure. So as you can see, it's starting to run. I may pause the video for a second and then unpause it when it's nearly done so you can see those steps, and that way it'll be shorter for you and I. So let's give this a second and I'll be right back. Okay, it's almost complete. At this moment, for this part of the video, while we're waiting, I want to thank the patrons, the people on PayPal and Buy Me a Cup of Coffee for supporting my videos and offsetting some of the expenses to making them. And also, I'll place the directions on how to do this up on Patreon for anyone that wants to see it in a document form. But before we do that, I'm going to power this down. So I'm going to show you on the desk what's going on. So I'm going to pull out the power for a moment. Give me a second here. I'm going to remove this for a second so I can reach in here. I'm going to take the drive out, and then I'm going to place this back in so you can see that it worked. So to do this, I'm going to have to power this back up and switch over to the screen so you can see it. So I'll plug this in, I'll switch over to the Pi. It's going to take a second for the actual video to come up because obviously it's booting. But you can see now that it's actually on your eMMC, so it makes it significantly easier to work with. So after that, what we can basically do is we can go over, and you can see that it's booting quicker because this will come up with the splash screen in just a second. There we go. And then we can pull it back up in our browser. So let me go over to the browser so you can see it. And we can click try again and hopefully it'll connect. So we can do the update if you're so inclined, but essentially what you're going to have to do is add a file in here for your configuration, which it will give you a clue that it's going to have a name right here. But I've done this so many times that if you watch my previous tutorials, it'll be somewhat intuitive. Otherwise, there's a Discord in the description that you can go to, and there's a Clipper room where you can ask how to do it. So at this moment, I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to watch. Everyone take care, be safe, and I'll talk to you later.